What's going on, everybody? This is your W.O.F Outlook and discussion for Sunday, July 30th, 2023. And before we get into today's video, I hope everyone is doing well, remaining positive, and as always, staying blessed. All right, you guys, taking a look at the tropical Atlantic, you can see here we do have most likely, we you guys, we just have a lot of dry air going on across the Atlantic right now. As you can see here, across the tropical and central eastern Atlantic, nothing but dry air. We have a few areas of moisture, pockets of tropical waves crossing on through. But other than that, you guys, the environment is just not that favorable for development here yet across the deep tropical main development region of the Atlantic basin. So if you guys haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe here at your Weather on the Fly so you can stay up to date and weather aware. As the National Hurricane Center and Storm Prediction Center comes out with their updates, I have them posted here for you guys in nice graphical animational form so everyone could stay up to date and weather aware. Now, you guys, as we continue here across the tropical Atlantic, you can see here as we head on into the Caribbean, we have an upper level low here just here around eastern Cuba that is continuing to spin in southwest shear across the Caribbean. So no development is going to be expected there. And we have a continued northwest flow here. We have this ridge of high pressure across Mexico and the extreme western Gulf and Texas, which has just been baking them, which is what I call the Texas death ridge, you guys. But that ridge has been, let me get my paintbrush, you guys. Let me get the paintbrush. All right, with this ridge like this, you guys, the Gulf of Mexico is not going to have any type of development going on. With a northwest flow coming in like this, you guys, here like that, no type of development is expected in the Gulf of Mexico. And as we continue on, let me take the paintbrush off, you guys, real quick. Got to be very precise with the paintbrush, or it'll be all over the place, you guys. All right, and as we head on towards the Eastern Pacific, you can see Invest 96L here that we have, which was Invest 95L across the Atlantic, but I mean Invest 96E now that it has crossed into the Eastern Pacific. And this is more than likely probably going to at least develop into a tropical depression by early next week here, you guys. But eventually, looking at the track right now, it may start to head into unfavorable conditions as we go into next week. But that is just something we will continue to watch here across the Eastern Pacific. And you guys, I also want to turn it on over to the visible satellite imagery real quick, you guys. All right, let's see what's going on with these disturbances under the visible satellite imagery. And as I get this to load, you guys. All right. As you can see here, the system across the Eastern Pacific, and as we hold on, let me put this on here. All right, and as you can see here, the forecast tracks have the system coming right on, continuing a west to west northwest track just to the south of the Mexican coastline, staying well out to sea and should not be affecting no one, you guys. And as you can see here, most of the models takes the system west to west northwest and starts to dip it off towards the southwest and then continue on westward again. If that was to happen, depending on how far that dip is, the system may be able to stay in favorable conditions and warm enough waters to survive its track across the Eastern Pacific. But that is remain to be seen, you guys. That's why I say be sure to subscribe to stay up to date and weather aware, and we will track it across the entire Eastern Pacific, you guys. All right, as we come on over to Invest 96L, you guys, it's not looking too bad at the moment, you guys. You can see we have the low pressure system here. The thunderstorms are mainly on the east side, the north and east side of the system. But as it continues to move on towards the northwest to north northwest, it should find a little more favorable conditions to may briefly become a solid tropical storm before it eventually gets taken and drawn on out into the northern Atlantic, you guys, along a frontal boundary, a frontal system that's going to take this system clean on up, you guys. The next name for the Atlantic will be Emily, you guys. So we will definitely be looking out to see if Emily becomes anything out of Invest 96L. Behind 96L, not much else is really going on across the tropical Atlantic, you guys, as you can see here on the visible satellite imagery. But we do have an area, you guys, Let me take some of the fronts and centers off. Our little low pressure system that developed along our surface trough that moved near Florida like the end of last week into early this weekend formed the low pressure area near Jacksonville and is now had tracked its way through Georgia, the Carolinas, and has now made its way back out into the Atlantic around the Gulf Stream here, you guys. And not looking too terribly bad here. Has a nice little spin to it, as this is forecast to continue on to accelerate out to the east northeast. So it should not be much of any landmass problems here across the United States, as well as this will more than likely accelerate east northeast along this frontal boundary that's here out across parts of the northern Atlantic, you guys. And if both of these were to develop, you guys, this will be Emily and Franklin will be our next names on the list if they were to develop. All right, you guys, enough of the tropics for now, as that is about all that's going on. Now we're going to head on over towards the lower 48. Where I'm going to put our fronts and centers back on. And as you can see, we have a cold front that has come through the northeast parts of the Midwest, Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes. You can see, look at all the dry air that is filtering in here around the Chicago area, Cleveland, Toronto, New York, Pittsburgh. Look at all this dry air up into New England. Temperatures, I will say it's a summer cool down, you guys. It's not like it's going to be a winter cool down. So we'll call it a summer cool down. It's going to be nice to have temperatures feeling a lot better than what these hot 90s and upper 80s were doing, you guys. So this is nice to have this dry air for you guys coming on and filtering on down. Unfortunately, not everybody is going to be able to enjoy this nice, good feeling air here across the southern United States, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. You're still on the southern end of that front, which means we are on the baking side of the conditions of this system. And look, even here across the desert Southwest, under this ridge of high pressure, that we are going to be baking, while the Northeast and the Midwest and the Ohio valleys are going to be feeling just fine, you guys. But as you know, we do have some severe weather that's going to be in play here. As always, it's the season of giving, you guys, the severe weather. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause the surface plots. We're going to take this off so we can get into the convective outlook, you guys. All right, get these plots off of here real quick. All right, get the temperatures off. Hold on, you guys. Let's get the tropical stuff off. All right, and as you can see here, you guys, we do have a slight risk of severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk for parts of east central Montana on down to northeast Wyoming, getting into parts of extreme southwest North Dakota, western South Dakota, and extending into parts of Nebraska here, you guys, with a marginal risk that does include from the U.S. Canadian border around Montana, North Dakota, all the way down to the central Gulf Coast around Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Here, you guys, we will have a marginal risk, and that does extend into the southeast here, Georgia, South Carolina, and even here around the Jacksonville area. And we also going to have another small little slight risk here. I mean, a marginal risk across parts of southern Arizona, yet again, an extreme eastern California here, right there around the Arizona border, you guys. So let's look to see just what these storms are going to be up to. Let's see, probability. We do have a 2% chance of tornadoes, a couple of tornadoes possibly spinning up here around eastern Montana, heading on down into Nebraska, parts of Wyoming, South Dakota, and North Dakota. Hail probability. Hold on, I'm going too fast, you guys. All right, the hail probability, we do have a 15% chance of that hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter up across this slight risk area, with a 5% chance that does come all the way down to of just around Kansas City, Missouri, you guys. The wind probability, a 15% chance of those winds pushing 50 to 60, gusting to 70, maybe even as high as 80 here in a slight risk, and across the marginal risk, which goes all the way down to yet the central Gulf Coast and southeast United States. We have a 5% chance of those strong, damaging winds pushing as high as 70 to maybe even 80 miles per hour. No significant tornadoes. That's good news. We do have a large, significant area for hail here up across eastern Montana and Wyoming and the Nebraska area, you guys, around this slight risk. So we will definitely be on the lookout for that large damaging hail, 2 to 3 inch plus in diameter. No significant winds. That is always good news. Now, as we look at the HRRR to see just how these storms are going to continue to materialize throughout the day, throughout the next 48 hours or 2 days, however you like to look at it, you guys. Right, let's pull this up. We always start here at 12 p.m. Central Daylight Time here at your Weather on the Fly. And as you can see here, not much really going to be going on with we're just going to have with our low pressure system off of the Carolina coastal waters, continuing on out east northeastward. Other than that, pretty quiet as the daytime heating starts to heat up the atmosphere. We get to about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And as you can see here with the daytime heating, showers and thunderstorms start to increase in coverage and intensity here across parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, even the Florida Peninsula. Here up across the desert Southwest and the Rocky Mountains, showers and thunderstorms will be starting to develop here around 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Even starting to have some showers develop around the slight risk area up here across Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, and Nebraska, you guys. As we head on to about 7, 8, 9 in the evening, let's check this out and see, you guys. All right, as you can see here, that's when it's really going to start to explode here, these clusters of showers and thunderstorms around the Dakotas, Montana, and Wyoming. All hazards will be possible as we heading into the evening hours, so definitely we'll be on the lookout. Even here across parts of the Rockies, Denver, Utah, on down into Arizona, and even parts of northwestern New Mexico could still see some showers and thunderstorms ongoing here. Even across parts of Louisiana, southern Louisiana, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Alabama, the Florida's Panhandle. Showers and thunderstorms. Look here, even around the Jacksonville area, could have some heavy showers and thunderstorms. And as I always say, not everyone is going to see a shower or thunderstorm, but if you do, it will be a nice relief from the heat here, especially across the southern United States, you guys. Now, as we segue on into convective outlook day 2, you can see right now it's just mainly a general thunderstorm risk with 3 areas of a marginal risk here, yet again across southern Arizona, looking up here again across eastern Montana, Wyoming, getting into the Dakotas, Nebraska, and parts of Colorado. And yet again across the Georgia and Carolina coastal waters, we'll have a threat for some severe weather on you guys Monday. As we check the probability of what these storms could be up to, as of right now, we're not expecting any spin up of tornadoes, but it's just less than 2%, not 0%. So always be on the lookout. Hail, we do have a 5% chance of that hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter up across the Dakotas and Montana. And the wind probability, we do have a 5% chance of that wind, 50 to 60 gusts in the 70 here, yet again up across the Dakotas and Montana. And also those gusty winds will be possible here along the Georgia and Carolina coastal waters. As we continue the HRRR out for you guys Monday, you can see here by the time we get to 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you guys, let's let this roll up. All right, you can see here, you guys, we do have a heavy cluster of showers and thunderstorms possibly around across north central Arkansas, just to the west of Memphis, even extending on up into parts of central and eastern Missouri. Could have some clusters of showers and thunderstorms. Look here, even across parts of the coastal Carolinas, North Carolina, Virginia, could have some showers and thunderstorms. And with the daytime heating, we do have some showers starting to develop here along the west coast of the Florida Peninsula there, you guys. As we head on to about 3, 4, 5 in the afternoon, heading towards your guys' evening on your Monday, you can see here the showers and thunderstorms starting to increase in coverage here across northern Louisiana, starting to get into western Mississippi here. Look along the Georgia and Carolina coastal waters with these cells here. Look to be possibly some heavy embedded cells with some damaging winds possibly. And look here across the Florida's peninsula from Jacksonville all the way down to Miami. Could have that threat for some showers and thunderstorms, with even a few thunderstorms here across a few showers more than likely here across parts of southwest Illinois as we head towards your Monday, late Monday afternoon into the evening. with a few showers and thunderstorms also developing here up across parts of the Northeast in the New England area, you guys. As we head on into 9, 10, 11 o'clock, heading on into you guys' evening on your Monday, going into Tuesday, you can see here up across parts of the Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska, Denver, the Denver area could have some cluster showers and thunderstorms. Here, we're definitely going to look out for some isolated instances of flash flooding as well, you guys. And even here, all the way down into parts of Arizona, still have a cluster of showers and thunderstorms that could be producing some heavy rain as we head in the late evening to your overnight hours on Monday going into Tuesday, you guys. And as we go all the way to convective outlook day 3, which is as far as the HRRR will take us out, right? Let me get there, you guys. And as of right now, the Storm Prediction Center has no severe weather risk here, just a general thunderstorm risk here across the US for you guys Tuesday, but we all know that could change as the days and hours and minutes and seconds go along, you guys. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to share, like, and subscribe so we can get this weather on the fly content out to the YouTube nation so everyone could stay up to date and weather aware. As I said, as the National Hurricane Center and Storm Prediction Center comes out with their updates, I have them posted here in nice graphical animational form for you guys. And since now we're done with the convective outlook and the HRRR, we're going to take those off. And you guys, you know, we ended now with the excessive rainfall outlook. And as you can see here, we will have across parts of Arizona, Southern California, getting into southern Utah, Colorado, extreme northwest New Mexico. We have a marginal risk for some isolated instances of flash flooding, even up here across parts of Montana and North Dakota. Another area here around South Dakota and parts of Wyoming here, you guys, even Nebraska, Kansas City area. And yet again, across the southeastern United States, we'll have that chance for some flash flooding. As we go into day 2 here, you guys, you can see here yet again across parts of the desert southwest and the Rockies, we'll have that marginal risk for some heavy rainfall, which could lead to some isolated instances of flash flooding. Here across parts of Iowa down into Missouri here, we'll have that marginal risk for you guys Monday. And on down across parts of the eastern Florida's peninsula here, from Jacksonville all the way down to Miami, we'll have that threat for some heavy rain, which could lead to isolated instances of flash flooding. And as we head into day 3, which will be for your Tuesday, you guys, you can see here around the Denver area, we have a slight risk highlighted for flash flooding. So we'll definitely be on the lookout as it seems to be more likely around the Denver area for Tuesday. And around and on the outer edge of that, you can see Arizona, Nevada, just about all of Utah, getting into just about all of Wyoming here, we have a marginal risk for some flash flooding. And yet again, across Iowa, Missouri, starting to get into southwest and western Illinois, down to the Memphis area, could see some heavy rain, which could lead to some flash flooding for your Tuesday. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for this video. As I said, be sure to share, like, and subscribe so you all can stay up to date and weather aware. Everyone be safe and be careful in this severe weather and this flash flooding rains. And I will talk to you all in the next one.